Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Master Builder Show. I'm your host, Jim Gibson. Today's show is sponsored by the First National Bank of Weatherford. I am the president of Gibson Home Builders Incorporated. I'm also a graduate master builder, a certified graduate builder, member of the Green Building Council, member of
Greenbelt, North Texas.
Yeah. And today's topic is going to be green building certifications. My guests today are Cathy Williams and Jim Edmonds, and they're with Enviro Custom Homes, correct?
Yes, Enviro Custom Homes and Home Run Project Services.
Home Run Project Services. What is Home Run Project Services?
Home Run is a company we just got involved with. We teach the green building course for national. Congratulations to you on just finishing your certified green professional designation.
Yeah, I got that last week.
We get approached by a lot of different people to represent products, and one of Jim and I's goals is to help builders build green easier and better. And so this is a automated project management,
right?
And we've incorporated the green task. It's one of the certification tasks, so that you don't have to worry about missing something if you're trying to register your home as green.
Okay, that's certifying the home itself.
That's right.
All right, and Jim, what part do you play in this?
Cathy and I both go out, and after we teach the courses, there are several people that share an interest, and we follow up with those individuals, and we have sold several individuals that are building anywhere from 2 to 10 homes and 24 to 100 homes.
Okay. So you're hitting kind of the small volume builders. I mean, I guess that would be the term, right?
That's right, because for them, they don't have the full staffs that a lot of our production builders have. We're able to also, cater to the larger builders, but for the smaller builder, it's like hiring an assistant to help you out. So you kind of get an extra hand there.
That is good. Yeah, and the National Association of Home Builders just started this course. Were we the first class to come through the Tarrant County part of it?
I believe through Tarrant County.
Yeah. How long has the course been going on? I mean, when did they establish the course?
Cathy and I taught in August of 2006. We were the first ones, and we've been going from state to state, California, various other parts of the United States teaching the course. Okay,
so it's just now coming to the Dallas-Fort Worth area?
We have taught in Dallas 4 or 5 times so far, and this is the first time it was offered in Fort Worth, and so we were very excited about coming over, and the 45 plus students that we had they're very intelligent, great enthusiasm.
Oh, yeah.
We really enjoyed everyone being there.
How do you think the public perceives green building?
Well, right now, statistics are showing us that 90% of the consumers are asking about green aspects in homes. And what we would like to encourage and get the word out to both builders and consumers is that you really do need to be looking for people that are certified green professionals. That's through the National Association of Home Builders, that are registering their homes through Greenbelt, North Texas, or National Association, because there's a lot of builders out there who are going to start saying they're doing green things.
Right.
And you want to make sure that you're aligned with someone that really does know what they're doing, because you can get in trouble on a greenhouse. It's not as easy as it may sound.
Well, I know. And when we're talking about green, we're talking about efficiently using energy, efficiently using water, and other resources. We're talking about protecting our occupant health, improving employee productivity when we're talking about businesses. We're talking about reducing waste. We're talking about reducing pollution and reducing environmental degradation. What steps are y'all looking for when you're actually looking at a green home? You're going in, you're looking at what insulation, you're looking at sizing of the air conditioning, heating systems. You're looking at the overall envelope.
Yes. As we have shared with you last week, Jim, in class, it's the whole house approach, which means that every system is related to every other system to enhance the efficiency and the comfort of the home.
Yeah, you're talking about building it like a well-tuned engine. I mean,
exactly.
And people don't realize that when you are building green, it is a whole house approach, and everything that you do makes that engine run better. I mean, we're looking at gas mileage now on cars, so a well-tuned engine gets a lot better gas mileage than one that's not, and we're even talking down to the tire pressure. So when you're looking at a house, you're also looking at the same thing, because people say, well, what can I do to make my home greener? There's a lot of little bitty things that you can do. But if you're actually going to build a house in new construction, you need to look at the whole picture.
That's right. And a lot of times we see that there's a lot of focus put on the energy side of it and energy savings, because that's a real easy one to see. But it also has to do with the way that you're handling your other resources. When you're building especially, we produce in about a 2,000 square foot house, we produce 8,000 pounds of trash during construction.
That's
and waste management becomes a huge issue when you're building, and being able to order more effectively or recycle some of those products. Drywall is recyclable, cardboard, wood, those are all the biggies in waste in construction. So you're looking at your resource efficiency, your waste management, water management's becoming a bigger and bigger issue for us.
Right.
And all of that ties into your indoor air quality. And when you talk about health, those are just another aspect that people get to enjoy in a nice green home.
Well, people don't realize how many pollutants are in the house if it's not running right.
It's typically worse inside than it is outside.
Oh, I know, quite a bit worse. And it used to be called sick house syndrome, and that was when people were getting sick. They didn't know what was causing it, and it was actually just the way the house was built, the toxic fumes, I guess the VOCs, volatile organic compounds, that were riding in through the walls or through the attic to the house itself. And there's ways to resolve that, and that's what green building is all about. I mean, part of it is
that's
way to build your house.
And that's going back to aligning yourself with someone that knows what they're doing, that have chosen to educate themselves, that know the green building process. That's where a lot of builders got into trouble. We saw that when the Energy Star program came into being. People just started tightening up their houses, trying to make them more energy efficient, and then people started getting sick.
Yeah, they're starting to grow mold because they weren't doing it right.
That's exactly right, and your air has to be right. During September 11th, if you will remember, they were telling us to get a room and duct tape it all off so that nothing could get into it. But the reality is you've got to have air to breathe.
Right.
And you can't just seal off a room or a home, because you are actually building those homes like they're refrigerators. They are tight.
Well, that's what you want to do, is you want to control your environment in your home.
That's exactly right.
And people don't realize you need some type of air exchange unit when you're sealing them that tight, so you can change out the air in your house. And there's several different ways to do that. And y'all like to use the ERV, right?
The ERV is the Energy Recovery Ventilator.
Correct.
And you have the HRV and the ERV. And in Texas, where you have a lot of humidity, the ERV is the more effective route to go.
All right, we've got to take a break, and we'll be back here in just a couple of minutes.
Did you know that some of the best home builders in the entire nation are right here in Parker County? Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Croft Foam Insulation and Protective Coatings has over 25 years of experience in the spray foam business, serving residential, commercial, and industrial clients. Croft Foam specializes in open and closed-cell polyurethane foam applications to construction, refrigerated trailers, and even castles. Croft Foam is a Fort Worth-based company. You may reach them by calling 817-482-1664 or email at foamman@swbell.net.
Fort Worth Lighting, serving the building professional in Parker, Wise, Palo Pinto, and surrounding counties. Services include planned takeoff, site walkthrough, and delivery. For an appointment with a Fort Worth Lighting consultant, the number is 817-597-6320, or the website is fortworthlighting.com. Again, it's 817-597-6320 for Fort Worth Lighting.
Are you having a construction-related issue? Do you need a construction attorney? If so, you may call the law firm of Kelly M. Davis and Associates. Kelly's family background in the construction industry has led to her focus in construction litigation, with over 9 years of experience practicing construction law in and around the metro area. For more information, you may visit www.kellymdavis.com. kmdalegal.com, or you may call 972-434-8009. That's 972-434-8009. Kelly M. Davis & Associates. Principal offices are located in Louisville, Texas.
Welcome back to the Master Builder Show. I am your host, Jim Gibson. Today's show is sponsored by the First National Bank of Weatherford. My guests today are Cathy Williams and Jim Edwards, and they're with Enviro Custom Homes. And we're talking about green building and green building designations. Cathy, during the break, you were wanting to cover remodeling and some other subjects. Why do we even want to build green?
Well, that's an interesting point, because green's been around for a long time. A lot of this we say is old stuff that we're kind of bringing back in. But one reason why green's becoming so important to America right now and all Americans, our world population is reaching the 7 billion mark. And our population, the United States of America, accounts for 1/6 of that population, but we use 30% of the world energy consumption. We are energy hogs over here. And out of that 30%, 70% of the energy use, the electricity use, is coming from buildings. So this is why the builders are being hit hard in America right now, because we're being forced because of energy prices that we're paying, and our utility prices have risen just to an all-new high. They're not going down anytime soon.
Right.
And buildings are a great place also that we can reduce the amount of carbon emissions that are put into the air. And the remodeling market, existing homes, that's a huge market. I mean, there's many more existing homes than there are new homes going up. And there are a lot of things that you can do, whether you're remodeling or just want to become greener in your own home. One of the things we like to really say, which is a real easy thing to do, and that's just changing out your light bulbs. There's a light bulb called a compact fluorescent light. They have the little swirlies or twisties on them. Some of them are actually looking more like floodlights now.
Right.
But if you, in a standard 65 kilowatt light bulb, by getting that same amount of light with a compact fluorescent, you're only using about 15 to 18 kilowatts for that same amount of light.
Watts, not kilowatts.
Watts, thank you. That would be a lot.
Yeah, that's a bright light.
That would be pretty bright. Thank you. But also, you're putting out heat with a regular light bulb. That puts out about 4 BTUs of heat. And your heating and mechanical, we talked a little bit about our heating and cooling. That's an integral part of how we need to size our air conditioning depending on what kind of lights we have. But you can do that very easily. If every American would just replace one light bulb in their home with a compact fluorescent light, that would be enough energy saved to furnish 3 million homes of their electricity.
And that's a lot.
That's a whole lot. And it's like having 800,000 cars off the road.
And people don't realize how much heat they do put off. We built a house over here in the Burleson area 2 or 3 years ago. And it was like 20, 30 degrees that particular winter. And we had foamed it and sealed it up. And so we got in the next morning, and the temperature had risen probably 20 degrees from what it was the day before. And we didn't have any of the heat and air conditioning on at the time. And we turned on all the incandescent lights in the house. We brought it up 20 degrees in 2 hours with just light bulbs. And that's how much heat it produces. And it also shows you how much what the effect the foam insulation does have on a house, because you are building an ice chest. And we tell our people that you pretty well, the way to describe it is you heat it with a light bulb and you cool it with an ice cube. And, virtually it, like I said, the heat coming off those lights is tremendous. And our biggest problem here in Texas is cooling. And, so if you've got all those light bulbs that you're burning, they're putting off heat, you're defeating your cooling system.
That's right. And when you're doing a heating and cooling system, your HVAC person will actually rate every recessed light you have in your home as another person being in that room.
Yeah, no, that's incredible.
And if you have additional funds, you may want to consider the LED lights.
Right.
And that's light emitting diodes.
Those are just coming out and they're getting real popular. And I think that they will outdo the compact fluorescents.
They will, because those are only 4 watts.
Right. And plus their lifespan is a lot longer.
Several thousand hours.
Right. Well, it's even longer than the compact fluorescents, which have 5 times the lifespan of an incandescent bulb.
That's right.
Or even more.
Right.
The hardest thing for the light bulbs is turning them on and off. But whereas the incandescents have a filament, the compact fluorescents have gas in them. And so you really don't have anything to burn out other than, I really don't know all of the details of how they work, but I know that most all the light bulbs we have in our house are compact fluorescents right now.
That's great. Now we had the mercury issue, the mercury people have
right.
come out with the naysayers, we say, but that actually, the household thermometer contains 500 milligrams of mercury, versus the compact fluorescent lights have about 4, and those are now down to about 1.5 to 2 because they have changed the way they're making those.
Well, the main thing about the mercury is they were worrying about disposal of the
right,
the
or when
bulbs.
break. Actually, it's only when they break or when they're disposing of. So.
Right.
But it the pros outweigh the cons.
What other green building, I guess, techniques do we, if we're going in remodeling, what is the easiest or what is the most important thing that a person can do in a remodeling?
Well, a couple of years ago, Cathy and I were asked to come in on help another builder on a remodeling project. He had a house that was 8,000 square feet, and they wanted to add on additional 4,000. So in that particular case, they wanted to retrofit some of the 8,000, which would be predominantly in the attic, and the additional 4,000. You have to deal with the envelope as well as the windows,
right.
and the, as you mentioned earlier, Jim, the foam. The foam makes a huge, huge difference when you go ahead and foam the roof decking up in the attic, because conventionally you have a furnace about 150 degrees up there.
Right.
Whereas if you go ahead and build green and use the foam on the roof decking 5.5 to 6 inches, the temperature difference from the attic, which would be conditioned space, versus your air-conditioned space is going to be approximately 4 degrees.
Right.
And that's substantial.
People, we take people up in the attic and show them the difference, and they can't believe after going into a conventional attic. They get up there and you break a sweat as soon as you go up there. And you can get up in those conditioned attic spaces and walk around and you think, well, this is not bad at all. Mm-hmm. And doing your maintenance on your AC units, and we use a lot of media-type air filters, so the air filter's right there in the air handler. And
right.
So it makes it easy to get up there and you don't sweat when you're changing it.
It's also important, and Cathy mentioned this earlier, that when you build green in the envelope, whether you foam your walls or use ICF or SIPs, structured insulated panels, right. or insulated concrete forms, that you need to have a very educated HVAC person.
Correct. Because
you're going to you need to size that properly.
Yeah, they need to do a manual J calculation on that thing, and that's heat load. And they take, there's several things they take into account. It's room size, ceiling height, the type of light bulbs you got in there, the size of the windows, the direction the windows face, the type of insulation you use. And there's many things that go into those calculations, and it looks like Ace is telling me we've got to take another break here. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes.
Did you know that some of the best home builders in the entire nation are right here in Parker County? Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Croft Foam Insulation and Protective Coatings has over 25 years of experience in the spray foam business, serving residential, commercial, and industrial clients. Croft Foam specializes in open and closed-cell polyurethane foam applications to construction, refrigerated trailers, and even castles. Croft Foam is a Fort Worth-based company. You may reach them by calling 817-482-1664 or email at foamman@swbell.net.
Fort Worth Lighting, serving Parker, Wise, Palo Pinto, and surrounding counties with a selection of interior and exterior lighting fixtures. They also have ceiling fans, mirrors, and vanities in all sizes. A lighting consultant will help you with your decisions. For an appointment with a Fort Worth Lighting consultant, the number is 817-597-6320, or the website is fortworthlighting.com. 817-597-6320 for Fort Worth Lighting.
Are you looking for a law firm with an understanding of the construction industry? Kelly M. Davis & Associates experience includes home inspections, construction contracts, disputes with builders, and helping subcontractors or vendors that have not been paid for their services. For more information, you may visit www.kmdalegal.com, or you may call 972-434-8009. That's 972-434-8009.
Kelly M. Davis and Associates. Principal offices are located in Louisville, Texas.
Welcome back to the Master Builder Show. I am your host, Jim Gibson. Today's show is sponsored by the First National Bank of Weatherford. My guests today are Cathy Williams and Jim Edmonds with Enviro Custom Homes, and we're talking about green building certifications, and things that you can do to make your home green. And we were talking. We had a question, or a caller call in and want to know if they had moisture problems using polyurethane foam. Polyurethane is a closed cell foam, and you really don't want to use that on your decking. Now, you can use it to seal off your sheetrock on your ceiling there in the attic. And if your attic is ventilated properly, the ventilation is there to take out the moisture. So, and you're supposed to have 1 foot of ventilation, that's intake and exhaust, for every 300 square foot of living area. So as long as you've got it vented properly, and if you're in an existing home and you're thinking about this, then y'all have any comments on what you would do as far as an existing home?
What you want to do as far as foaming?
Yeah.
Yes, as far as foam goes, you for sure want to talk to your heating and cooling person, because that will dramatically change the way your system's going to be working, and you're probably going to need to replace that also. Yeah,
you're probably going to have to downsize it.
Absolutely. And you want to check your ducts, too. Ducts, that's another real issue in existing homes for energy leaks. For every 25% of leaks that you may have in a duct, cost you about 50% more to heat and cool that. And
then you've got a lot of pollutants coming into your house, too, because it's sucking into the ducts and going back down into your living space.
Right.
So it's best to, if you're going to, I tell people it's rather difficult to come in and do a conditioned space on an existing house. Part of the reason is you've got existing insulation there on your sheetrock, on your ceiling area there, and you're vented all the way through your attic. And when you're doing an enclosed or conditioned space in your attic, you're actually sealing off all your areas, and you don't have any ventilation up there. And if you were doing it in an existing house, you would need to vacuum out or take out all the existing insulation that's on the floor level, because the temperature of that particular area is ambient temperature, which means that the temperature, I guess the cooling, whatever flows through the sheetrock up to the attic itself, because you really don't have any open registers in the attic on a conditioned space.
That's right.
And air leaks on your ducts and around, you need to have those checked out, people, because that you're eating up a lot of energy, and you could be causing some health problems around
Absolutely.
your family.
When your house is dustier, too. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can go around and just, if you've dusted it and a day later it's dusty, then you most likely have got some kind of leaks in your heating and cooling system.
Right. Anytime you start to do green, we tell everybody in class, if you're remodeling or building new, if you do not have a great heating and cooling person to be figuring your loads, you need a really great attorney, because that becomes an issue, a weak point in your building process if you have not paid attention to that. The other thing that happens, especially we see in remodels, is controlling your humidity levels in your house, because as we tighten up and we use different insulations, and if you're remodeling, trying to tie those together, you're going to have some rooms that feel better and more comfortable than others. Humidity in the summertime, it can make you feel 2 to 3 degrees hotter than if the humidity is not right, because you can just keep cranking down your thermostat, and you're just not going to feel right in the house. Same thing in the winter when we tend to be drier here. You just can't get that chill, and that's because of your humidity.
Yeah, and right now, we're supposed to maintain about a 50% humidity in our house. And if you go high, like if you get up around 60, 70% humidity, you've got problems that happen. If you get low humidity, you've got dust mites and you've got other problems that happen. So you need to balance that out. And, if your system is sized correctly, you don't want to be like Toolman Tim coming here, I want a 4-ton system on this, 1,000 square foot house. You just don't do that. It would cool it, but most likely it would rot down around you in the next, few years.
It's also important to consider that when you size a house, that there are companies out there that will come out and do an energy evaluation on your home, and they will, if you submit your plans with the envelope that you're building, they'll guarantee your utilities for up to 2 years.
Yeah, they were giving the name of that company out here, I think, during our class. Do you remember what they
Energy Wise.
Energy Wise. Okay. Mm-hmm. And that's a good deal. Mm-hmm. That's a real good deal. Right. And I use pretty well foam in all my houses. I've had some that they couldn't afford it, but really they look back now and they wish they'd paid a little extra up front to insulate.
If you're going to stay in your house over 5 years, it's the route to go.
Oh yeah. I've got we got some 4,000 square footers out there that they're with a pool that are running less than $200 a month.
Right. We're consulting on a house right now in Dallas. It's 12,000 square feet, 10 HVAC, and they've foamed the walls, the garage, as well as the roof decking. Also, it's important that you have proper ventilation in the garage and it's well insulated, because the various poisons or toxins that are in the garage from the gasoline, the oil, paint cans, etc. Whatever in the garage is going to be in the house. So either in designing your home, as we share in class, you either want a detached garage, or if it's not going to be detached, you want to foam the ceiling and the walls to isolate all that toxins that's in the garage. And then also we encourage to have ventilation in the garage to ventilate those outside.
Yeah, and people don't realize how much toxic chemicals we actually store in our garage. If you actually go out there and start looking at the paint cans, the varnish cans, the gasoline for your lawnmower, right, the oil for your car, the lubricants that we use to spray around. Mm-hmm. There's so many things, and I would bet you 99%, well, not 99, but I would say about 90% of the homes out there aren't built the way they should be built.
They're not. One thing that we find when we do build green is that the homeowners will come back and tell us that they, either themselves or their children, are not using their inhalers as much as they did before. Really helps with asthmatic conditions, colds, allergies. Also, just even your skin condition, going back to that humidity and your air levels being correct, your skin stays properly moisture. We love that as women, less wrinkles, right? That gives us, makes us just feel better. We have a client that says she doesn't use as much lotion, and she's cut back on her Kleenex costs since she's moved into her house. They tend to have less dust. But going back to energy efficiency, another really great thing you can do, a really big bang for the buck, as we say, radiant barrier is another great way to go in an existing home.
Right.
To cut down on your electric use or your energy use. And that's just like, it looks like foil almost, and you put it to the decking of your roof. There's some spray-on paints now that you can also get, but that's something you really should investigate, really worth looking into. Yeah,
we, people that want to come in and do that, that's the first thing we ask them is, do have a radiant barrier, and the easiest way is use the spray-on, and it's not quite as effective if you do it in new construction with the foil back decking, but it still works. It blocks out about 70% of your radiation coming into the attic, and you can go up in those attics that have radiant barriers, and you're going to see 30 to 40 degrees different in temperature, where it would be normally 150, 160 degrees. It might be 100, 110, but it's also 106 outside, so it's not that bad. And that is a noticeable difference. If you can reduce that attic temperature by 50 degrees to start with, then you come back in and put the proper amount of insulation in there. You would be surprised how much you save on your energy bill.
We use the analogy that in the conventional homes, with you have 150 to 160 degree temperature up in the attic, like you just mentioned, that when you're heating your air conditioning your home, there's a battle going on. You're basically trying to air condition a furnace upstairs.
Right. And that's why it's so important that you have your unit checked out at least annually. If you don't do it when we like to have our people have them checked out when they turn on their air conditioning or when they go switch back to their heat, and just have it checked out, because you would be surprised how much energy that we waste and how much it costs you. And that's what most people are looking at right now is dollars, and that is our biggest selling point, because it's a win-win situation when you're building green. Mm-hmm. It may cost you a little more up front, but it'll save you so much over time. And whether you care about the environment or not, it's money in your pocket, and you're helping the environment whether you know it or not.
Absolutely right. And we talked to several people, a builder last week that has a 5,000 square foot house, and he said, Jim, I'm paying $1,250 just in utilities alone.
Right. And
it's an older home, of course.
That adds up. This house I was talking about in Burleson, they're running their pool and all this other, and we put solar water heating in it, heats their pool, and in the wintertime, not in the summer, but it also cools the pool in the summertime, because what they'll do, they'll turn on a recirculating pump at night when the sun's down. If the temperature drops down to 70 degrees, it'll cool the pool down. When their pool gets warm, it's not comfortable to get in. Mm-hmm. So there's all sorts of advantages. Anyway, when they built their house, she had a girlfriend that was building a house approximately the same size. And she called me this last year and told me that, they wanted to thank me for letting them spend the extra $30,000 or whatever it was when we built their house, because we did quite a bit on that particular home. But her girlfriend's bill was $1,250 a month. So they were putting $1,000 a month in their savings in the summer, while the other people were actually.
And it's a tax write-off if you do it up front.
Yeah, and people don't realize. Yeah, I tell them that you're going to pay off your house usually if you're going to live there for a long time, but you'll never ever pay off your electric bill.
Right. Cathy and I built a home several years ago. It's about 3,000 square feet, and in August, when it's 105 degrees, we were closing out the house. All the doors are open, all the windows are open, 12 hours a day for the whole month. And her utility bill came in to be $85 at 75 degree temperature. Yeah,
it's amazing what you can do. And like I said, even if you don't care about the environment, you need to care about your pocketbook. And
that's
so
right.
It's a win-win.
The other great thing is, as we are becoming the aging America, as they're calling us, as the boomers are reaching that golden age, the beauty of a green home also is that it's going to make, as you go to a fixed income, you're going to have a bit more reliable utility bills. Because in Texas, especially, we can get swings that are crazy on our utility bills.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a huge setback when you're on a fixed income. So it makes sense to invest in it now, stay in your home longer, and have a more consistent energy bill.
I do a lot of houses, or what I would say 90% of my homes I build are for 50s plus crowd. And most of them are looking to retire fairly soon. So I'm building their so-called last home. So those people come in and they're fairly well educated on green building practices. And they are doing so because they know they're going to be on a fixed income. And the more money they can put in their pocket each month and not pay the utility companies, the better off, because a lot of them want to have travel in mind, and they want to travel. And everything that you can do, any little bit you can do, and like I said, it is. I mean,
even rainwater collection right now, because one of the biggest concerns right now in the developers in the DFW area is the water.
Right.
And by going with rainwater collection, that's a highly efficient way to go ahead and use the water for the irrigation of your yard, or even with the proper filtering on the inside of your home.
Right. Yeah. The house that Chris Miles built over there, the Bannister house, they had it. They had filtration systems on it, and they had reverse osmosis filters and stuff like that.
Right.
So the water they were collecting was potable or potable, whatever the term may be. But that's one of the big things. There's all the wind power is coming up very big. We did some shows here several months back on wind power, on solar.
Photovoltaic?
Yeah, that, and they're right now they're still silicon based primarily, but they've come out with some nanotechnology that they have the thin skin type collectors out there now, and they're coming up with a paint that has nanotechnology in it. You actually just paint your roof and hook up your leads, and they're saying when they get this developed, they're going to bring it down. When it first started out, it was about $9 a watt, so it's about $9,000 to put in 1,000 or 1 kW system. And then they brought out the thin skin nanotechnology type photovoltaic cells.
Right.
Hard to say, but anyway, that got it down to about $3 to $4 a watt. Mm-hmm. And once they come out with this paint, if they ever get it developed, it's supposed to bring it down to about $1 a watt. So that that's not bad.
Becoming more and more affordable. With wind and solar both, we say it's like computers and calculators. They're getting smaller and more powerful.
Right.
And that's what we're going to find. Wind has had some issues because of the towers they have to set them on, but now we're finding the roof mounts. They're quiet. They're starting to be quiet and not vibrate. Those were some other issues that wind. But there's some wind systems coming onto the market that are starting to produce at about 5 to 7 miles per hour, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because most of them, until you get to about 10 and 12, and for Texas it's about 10 miles per hour is the average, it's hard to make those efficient. But with them becoming more powerful, roof mounts, much more acceptable with homeowner associations, going back to the spray-on with the solar, we've had a lot of controversy with homeowner associations allowing solar in and wind.
Well, we've used several. The solar that we're using right now is mostly in the hot water collection type systems and stuff, and that seems where you save your most money, or you get the biggest bang for your buck, because you can do that fairly reasonable, and people don't realize how much it costs to heat water, especially if you got several kids in the house that are taking showers and washing dishes, doing your clothes and stuff like that. They've got I think it's hot water in a box or something like that they're calling it, which you have a little solar collector on the roof with a little pump in it that pumps back to a tank that is similar to your hot water heater that stores it. Have y'all had any experience with the solar hot water?
We love the solar hot water. We have several clients that have those on their homes, and a lot of them, there's an override. So if you were to ever need to have electricity, if we were to have a lot of rain and clouds or something where there wasn't a lot of sunshine, but in Texas we hardly ever have that happen. Yeah. Most of them have never gone to their override switch because we get enough sunshine to keep those hot and going. And you're right, that is a great way. People love the solar because it's just it's cheap. It's cheap heating your water, and then also it's a way to say that you have some solar on your house.
Right.
So we like to say that.
Well, like most of us out here that have acreage and stuff, all our gate openers and stuff that we have are all solar powered.
Exactly.
And they work great. I mean, they work.
They do. And going back to the solar water, we're starting to see too in new construction and retrofitting an existing home. We're starting to see the tankless water heaters. Those have come on real strong to the market. That's just a little box that fits. You're not storing your water in it.
Right.
And that's been a very acceptable consumer product. Where there's some hybrids coming out with those. So a lot of going on in the water heating, and that's something you really do want to look at when you're planning your green home.
Yeah, and one of the misconceptions I've had on the tankless water heaters is that they think it's hot water on demand.
Yes, we always tell builders it's the first call back you'll get. It does not mean it's instant. It does still take a while to get there.
Yeah, they've got to clear out the existing line, but they can put a circulating pump in there where they turn on the light switch or something like that to actually start circulating that hot water through there and get it when you want it. But normally they don't bother doing that, and so when you do turn it on, you're going to have the cold water that's setting in the line. It has to come out before you get the hot water there. So what about
something else I'd like to go ahead and mention is that with all these products that we're talking about for green builders, it's important that we have them use a verifier to come out,
right,
and to certify their homes.
Yeah,
and there's three, at least in the North Texas area, there's three certifications you can receive. One is the Green Building North Texas. Another one is the National Association of Home Builders, which they rolled that out this February down in Orlando. and the third one is leads.
Right.
And if you're so inclined, you can go ahead and have 3 certifications. Of course, that costs extra money, but to have your home certified is something that we certainly encourage, and it increases the marketability of your home.
Correct. And we're trying to get some realtors online with that and some appraisers online with that also.
Right.
Because if they come out and just appraise it by square footage and you have brick on the outside, and you have tile floors and granite countertops, you want to make sure that you can get all that stuff in there. And I've noticed that if you've got an educated buyer, an educated shopper, your home will sell a lot faster. But right now, I've found it difficult in selling to the uneducated buyer because, they both look the same from the outside. And it's what's behind the walls and how it's built is.
But one thing is going to the marketability that Jim just mentioned, and that's something that all consumers need to keep in their mind.
All right, we've got to take another break. We'll be back here in a couple of minutes.
Did you know that some of the best home builders in the entire nation are right here in Parker County? Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Croft Foam Insulation and Protective Coatings has over 25 years of experience in the spray foam business, serving residential, commercial, and industrial clients. Croft Foam specializes in open and closed-cell polyurethane foam applications to construction, refrigerated trailers, and even castles. Croft Foam is a Fort Worth-based company. You may reach them by calling 817-482-1664 or email at foamman@swbell.net.
Fort Worth Lighting, serving Parker, Wise, Palo Pinto, and surrounding counties with a selection of interior and exterior lighting fixtures. They also have ceiling fans, mirrors, and vanities in all sizes. A lighting consultant will help you with your decisions. For an appointment with a Fort Worth Lighting consultant, the number is 817-597-6320, or the website is fortworthlighting.com. 817-597-6320 for Fort Worth Lighting.
Are you having a construction-related issue? Do you need a construction attorney? If so, you may call the law firm of Kelly M. Davis and Associates. Kelly's family background in the construction industry has led to her focus in construction litigation, with over 9 years of experience practicing construction law in and around the metro area. For more information, you may visit www.kmdalegal.com. or you may call 972-434-8009. That's 972-434-8009. Kelly M. Davis and Associates. Principal offices are located in Louisville, Texas.
Welcome back to the Master Builder Show. I am your host, Jim Gibson. Today's show is sponsored by the First National Bank of Weatherford. And my guests today are Cathy Williams and Jim Edmonds with Enviro Custom Homes. And we're talking about green building certifications, things that you can do to make your home green. And Cathy, we were talking about during the break, you had some comments that you would like to make.
Just wanted to share with the consumers, because it is this always going back and forth that green costs more money and people aren't willing to pay that, and builders say they don't know if their clients will pay for it. One thing for the consumers and home buyers to keep in mind is that the Department of Energy right now is working on a program that will require some kind of a rating system, a green rating system, either your energy scores or the actual green certifications, whoever registered your home, would be on the MLS listings when you go to resell your home.
That would be a good thing to put the HERS listing on there. And HERS stands for Home Energy Rating System. And the HERS rating is very important when you're buying. And that would weed out a lot of homes that are
Absolutely.
energy hogs. And so, I think that would be a good idea on
Well, it's going to happen, and that's another reason that you want to align yourself with someone that's actually registering the homes or having those HERS scores performed. Because what happens for the consumer, I mean, you get to experience a lot of the benefits. The builder just sort of goes in and builds the home and they're out, but you get to stay in the home and you're going to be enjoying those reduced energy and electric bills. You're going to enjoy less water usage in your home. That's a decrease to your pocketbook.
You're going to enjoy better air quality.
Better indoor air quality. You're going to feel better. You're going to be happier in your home.
Denver home.
And green homes also tend to be more durable.
Oh, yeah.
So when people start to look in 5 years from now, we are going to be asking what green was done to this home.
When she's talking about more durable, we're talking about using fiber cement composite materials on the exterior that don't rot, don't decay, termites don't eat, they're fireproof, and they hold paint very well. And such as hardy board or hardy plank, and you can really tell the difference, like she said, in these neighborhoods that people have used some cheaper materials and stuff, that the paint fades. You can go by after a hailstorm, and you can see some stuff that was put up that you can see where all the paint's chipped off and there's holes knocked in the fiber board and all this other stuff. Where it's on the hardy, it just bounces off.
Right, and Hardy also has a product where the paint is actually
impregnated.
And I believe that has like a 15-year on that one, 15 or 20-year, and that's an excellent product for not painting and peeling and all those other. But what we're seeing, too, is that green homes have a higher resale value to them. In Colorado, with the little dip in the market they've experienced up there, the homes that were built green are actually holding their prices, whereas the conventional builders and homes are having to drop their prices about $30,000 a home. It's a huge difference.
Oh, yeah. And what we're telling our customers, too, is we build in shades of green. We build to fit their pocketbook. I mean, they may not be able to go full blown, but every little thing they do, if they can meet, just get a little above the minimum requirements for whichever program they go in. I mean, you can go whole hog and spend $900 a square foot, or you can, spend $150 a square foot.
The national average as far as green homes is anywhere from a 3 to 5% increase as far as the conventional home. Once again, depends on what you want to put in there. But if you're going to be in a home, as we talked about before, over 5 years, it just makes perfect sense to go ahead and spend the extra dollars for 3 reasons. Number one is you have the tax write-off. Number two, instead of having $1,250 utility bills, you're going to have, depends upon your house and how it's laid out, $200 to $300 utility bills, which is a stark difference.
Oh, yeah.
And for the crowd of 50 and above on a sensitive budget, it just makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and like you were talking about guaranteed watt savers, is it? Or
they're another company, yes. Mm-hmm.
They're another company that does the energy evaluations. We're coming up in September. All your houses and stuff are going to have to be third-party inspected anyway here in Texas. So why not go ahead and just have the energy inspectors come in?
And there's certain states and certain cities at 2010 that there's going to be certain green features that's going to be mandated in your construction.
I think, and that will level the playing field for all builders out there anyway, and it will help the public, because it'll make everything supposed to meet certain standards.
Right. Talking about that HERS score, that the home energy rating score, that is, you want that to come in for Energy Star, it has to be 85, and what that means is that it's 15% more energy efficient than a conventionally or standard built home. Greenbelt North Texas requires that your home comes in at an 82. So that's 3 points above what an Energy Star home would perform.
Okay, we've got to take another break. We'll be back here in just a couple of minutes.
Did you know that some of the best home builders in the entire nation are right here in Parker County? Hello, everyone. This is Lynn Bearden, president of First National Bank of Weatherford. Our lenders believe your family deserves the best when it comes to your dream home. First National Bank is proud to support the Master Builder Show on QXFM. First National Bank in Weatherford has been building homes in Parker County since 1880. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Croft Foam Insulation and Protective Coatings has over 25 years of experience in the spray foam business, serving residential, commercial, and industrial clients. Croft Foam specializes in open and closed cell polyurethane foam applications to construction, refrigerated trailers, and even castles. Croft Foam is a Fort Worth-based company. You may reach them by calling 817-482-1664 or email at foamman@swbell.net.
Fort Worth Lighting, serving the building professional in Parker, Wise, Palo Pinto, and surrounding counties. Services include planned takeoff, site walkthrough, and delivery. For an appointment with a Fort Worth Lighting consultant, the number is 817-597-6320, or the website is fortworthlighting.com. Again, it's 817-597-6320 for Fort Worth Lighting.
Are you looking for a law firm with an understanding of the construction industry? Kelly M. Davis and Associates experience includes home inspections, construction contracts, disputes with builders, and helping subcontractors or vendors that have not been paid for their services. For more information, you may visit www.kmdalegal.com or you may call 972-434-8009. That's 972-434-8009.
Kelly M. Davis and Associates. Principal offices are located in Louisville, Texas.
Welcome back to the Master Builder Show. I am your host, Jim Gibson. Today's show is sponsored by the First National Bank of Weatherford. My guests today are Cathy Williams and Jim Edmonds with Enviro Custom Homes. We're talking about green building, things you can do to improve your home. And we were talking during the break, where can they get in contact with you? And you've got some, I know you've got some websites here that you would like them to direct them to.
The Home Run website is just www.homerun, HOMERUNIS, as in internet services.com. And
that's primarily for builders.
That's the builders. If you want to get a hold of myself, it's Cathy, CATHY.Williams at homerun.is.com. Or you can email Jim at jim.edmonds, EDMONDS, at homerun.is.com. I think, Jim, what Jim and I would like to share with you and your listeners, there's a lot of confusion right now in the building market with the green, and a lot of different people.
Like everybody has jumped on the green wagon.
Absolutely. People are saying things. Builders are saying things. Suppliers are saying things. Everybody's touting to be green this. You walk into the supermarket, everything in there is green, whether it's green or not. The magazines are all green. Everybody knows that it's selling. And that's just why it's so important to align yourself, once again, with a builder who has the Certified Green Professional designations, the Green Belt North Texas. You want to look for that certification, right, or national. That is giving you as a home buyer confidence in what you're building. And that's what we wanted to do for the builder and the consumer with the project management. It's all built in, and the consumers can log into your website. You can look and see what's happening with the job. You can make sure that all the green things that you wanted or you were told was being done to your home is in that schedule. And that way everyone has a confidence level. And it just really is a nice tool to clear up some of that confusion, help you to be confident, because it gets scary when you're trying to make a decision and everybody's telling you something different.
Yeah, and it's very important, and that I know the builders out there that are actually going to school, getting the certifications, spending the time to keep up with all the current technologies. Or, if I was going out to buy something, I would want my person I'm buying it from, if he was building it, to have been and kept up with everything. I don't want somebody that says, well, I've been doing this thing for 180 years and I know what I'm doing.
It's important, Jim, as far as the builders to continue with their education. It's also important for the consumers to ask intelligent questions and do their own research and to make sure that they choose a builder that knows their stuff and they know how to do it and they feel comfortable with.
Yeah, it makes my job a whole lot easier as a builder if my people are educated, because I don't have to sell them on anything. And really, when I'm trying to promote a product, it's not for me to make more money, because it's I'm probably not going to make any more doing it the right way than I would be doing it the wrong way. And it would be helping them in the long run, and it's my job is I have to go home and sleep at night.
That's right.
I want them to be comfortable in their house. I don't want any failures on my homes. And actually, every home that I build, I personally would sign it as far as I'm putting my name on this thing. Of course, my name is on them when we build them. So you want to make sure that,
yes.
that you get
you want a
somebody.
builder that says, this is what I do versus I can do that.
Right. And like I said, the ones that are attending all the certification courses and are going to the Builders Association meetings, are going to the seminars, and staying abrupt with all the changes, because changes occur every year.
That's right. And we travel all over the country teaching, and our students leave after the 2-day course with a headache, and they say, now I feel I know enough to be dangerous.
Right.
And that's a good position for them to be in, because they realize that there's a lot more for them to learn.
And if you ever stop learning, I mean, you're just behind the curve so far that it's hard to catch up. So it's easier to go and keep up with all these technologies and everything that's going on as they come out, rather than trying to catch up and say, oh, they invented that. Anyway, we're going to have to wrap up this show for this week. If anybody wants to get in contact with me, they can contact Jim at masterbuildershow.com. That's Jim at masterbuildershow.com. Or they can reach me at 682-429-2116. That's 682-429-2116. And we'll see you here next Tuesday. Same time, same place.